Hello Scuba team, it's Millie here. I know I've spoken to a lot of you over the last few months, helping you get organised, and especially the last week with last minute questions. So I'm just been collating everyone's questions, and I've put this little video together to spread the answers. So I'm just rattling through a few top tips to get you organised. So here we go. First, admin, flights. Now I'm just looking at my flight. We still don't have flights for Harriet, Donald, we don't have yours, Grace, Orange and Joseph. Now you might have sent them to us, but they're not in our system, so could you just resend them to us and we can just log them. I know everybody is arriving on the 5th, apart from Mare. You're already out there, that's fine, you're making your way to Kipos. Eloise and Orange, you're coming from the States and the Bahamas, so I'm just going to wait to see what Orange your flights are, and then I will get in contact with you both, because you get there much earlier, about an afternoon plan before everybody from the UK arrives. Because what's going to happen is the team from Kipos, the dive team, are going to come up and coordinate with that British team, and then they are going to pick up everybody in one fell swoop from the airport. So I will coordinate that. So on arrival, you will go through, it's absolutely tiny, the airport, so you'll just see a Leap Scuba sign. You're all going to get on the minibus and go down to Kipos, which takes about an hour and a half. I know you're going to be exhausted from your long flight, discombobulated with the time difference, but we just figure, let's just get you there, then you can unpack, get used to it, and then the next day is going to be a restful day, but I'll come on to the next day. And later, insurance. I know, battle face, Dan's, INEXT in the States, super easy, but when it comes to the Costa Rican INS, it's enough to literally make you go mad. We feel your pain, we really know, it's annoying. Just a couple of tips if you haven't done it and called this week. When it comes to beneficiary, just put your parents and their passport number. When it comes to choose option 1 or option 2, choose option 2, okay? And everything else should take care of itself. The last bit of admin is to get your QR code, and this is accessed 24 hours before you fly. I know on some websites it says 48 hours, but from experience it never works until 24 hours before you go. So top tip for that, when it says to you, do you have insurance? You are to go, yes I do. In fact I have 3, but you're not going to tell them that. You're just going to say, yes I have the Costa Rican INS insurance, and you put that policy number in, that matches up with everything else, job done, off you go, okay? You need that QR code to get onto the aeroplane. One of the other things, weird things the INS does, is when you put in your passport number, it always puts a 9 in front of it. So don't think you've made a mistake, it's just one of the kind of weird things it does. Right, your itinerary. Oh no, kit. Lots of questions coming in about the scuba kit and do you need it all? I'm afraid you do, okay? There is no going around it. At the moment, nobody in country is wanting to sell their stuff. They're all hooked in scuba. They all just want to keep it with them. So I can't help, I'm afraid. But my top tip is Amazon. Amazon Prime is doing everybody really, really well. It isn't, you know, you can get things which are cheap and cheerful, such as the buoyancy and the buoyancy aid, the slate, you know, they're not big ticket items. The main big ticket item is the dive computer, which is actually a dive watch. And I've seen them on Amazon for about 120, 130 quid. So that is something that the group don't want to sell on because they've got it. They know they now need to use it. They've got the love of diving and they're keeping that. So, sorry. Also with the kit list, just have a look at the kit list in My Leap. Everything on there is for a reason. One thing that I haven't put on there, which I'm going to mention now, is earplugs for the night time. If you are a loud sleeper, the houses, the Costa Rican houses, they are so noisy. They're either kind of next door to other houses with mad goings on with the family, or one of the houses is up in the jungle and you've got literally the tropical birds and monkeys squawking all night. So it's just a little top tip for you. So going to your itinerary, you are all going to be picked up, taken to Kipos, and you're going to be dropped off in one of the 3 houses. If any of you have got friendship groups in the team going, could you let me know kind of this week? That would be great, because we will do the house allocation. 2 of the houses are in Kipos town, which is a 5-minute walk from the little harbour, and one of them is a 15-20 minute walk up the hill, literally at the entry to Manuel Antonio National Park, and that is kind of a jungle house. So you're all together during the day. This is just where you have breakfast and supper and you put your head down. So don't worry which house you're in. They are all run by real Costa Rican mamas. And oh my God, the competition between these mamas is huge. They have all through lockdown been painting and decorating their houses, but you have to imagine these are Costa Rican family homestays, old farm homestays. We're talking kind of breeze block bricks with a tin roof, but really colourful, really, kind of breezy and fun and chaotic, but clean as a whistle. They're providing you breakfast and supper of local food, so expect lots of beans. And if you want, some home cooking, one of the kids told me the other day that they asked for some pasta and he got pasta with his beans. So everything gets lost in translation. They don't speak great English, but, give your Spanish a go and they will give their English a go. But everybody seems to manage to communicate. They are real mamas, larger than life ladies, and you just need to charm them and they will bend over backwards for you. They are quite strict in that they really don't want other people from other houses coming in, especially at the moment with COVID. So you've got to be very respectful of that. So no overnight guests. Not that I should be saying that, but you know what I mean. But you take your shoes off on arrival. But everyone's getting on like a house on fire. So that's all good. When you're there, you're going to be split into 3 groups. Where is my little list? 3 dive teams with Rachel, Kat and Giovanni, who are the 3 main dive instructors. After that, you will all be mixed up, and then you will do a bit of the coral gardening and diving so the groups aren't fixed, and we're going to really mix them up so you're not just in your houses, so you get to meet everybody, and there's a great team kind of fun sense, with amongst you all. Breakfast and supper are in the house, as I said earlier. Lunch is extra, so it's up to you where you have that. But everybody, right next to the dive school on Kipos, which is a very cool, stylish harbour, is a very cool little cafe with smoothies and paninis, and that's where everybody hangs out. After your afternoon dive, that's where everyone hangs out for happy hour, has a couple of drinks before they go back home for supper. Now, your typical day, I'm telling you now, I'm sending you the placement guidelines, which is attached to this email, but the program description. You are up early. So I'm just saying your day is really going to kind of go early and go to bed early, apart from the weekends where everyone seems to be going nuts. But you're going to be up kind of 6:37, dive school, 7:38, start, getting all in your gear, and off you go. There's lunch, afternoon dives, and then happy hour, and then home. So that is a typical day. The first 2 weeks are going to be really taken up with getting you diving, doing your open water and advanced. Attached to this email, you will see, I know if it wasn't in COVID times, we would ask you to do all the online training for those scuba courses before you arrive. But we don't want anybody to part with any money until you arrive, and commit to anything. So, not that you're paying because that's all included, but the dive team don't want to commit anything to dive to PADI, and I'm not going to say it. But 2 forms. If you're doing both courses, please will you fill in both forms. It's so much easier to do it at home when you've got time on your hands rather than rushed in the dive school. Fill them in, print them off, fill them in, carry them with you, okay? And you will see If you answer yes to lots of things, then the medical form has to be filled in. If you answer yes to lots of things, the medical form has to be signed by a doctor. If you are fit as a fiddle and you've got no ticks against anything, it does not need to be signed. You just need to take it all with you. Well, not to be signed by a doctor. Take it all with you and give to Georgia and Kat on day one. On day one, the plan is you will get transported late that night. You will try and get some sleep. My advice is do not sleep on the plane, and definitely not on the bus to Kipros. Those from the UK, you are 6 hours behind. You're going to be just really out of sorts. But try and get some sleep. You'll be up early, because you just will, because of the time difference. You wait in your homestay. Georgia and Kat will come round to each homestay, introduce themselves, give you a kind of briefing with what to expect, and then they've arranged for everybody to meet at the cafe that lunchtime, to have lunch, a late lunch, and then an afternoon at the beach. That is day one while you regroup after the flight, and then you go on. And it gets busy. Monday to Fridays, you're really busy. Saturdays and Sundays, you're off, and it's free time. Everybody in this group has been really exploring the local area. You've got the Manuel Antonio National Park. Literally, you're on its doorstep. So much to do in there. Sit wiring, waterfall treks, might even be a bit of whitewater rafting, but they're loving that. Also, Jacko Beach is not too far away, and they've been there for a Saturday night and to hang out there. So there is lots to do, and you'll get all those top tips when you're there. I'm just going to check my little list. Hold on. Oh yes, in the homestays, just to remind you, there are cold showers. Now, trust me, I know you're thinking cold showers, that's miserable. It's boiling out there and really humid. So that's just how it is. But if you do want a hot shower, that's at the dive school. In each homestay, expect single beds, bunk beds. They provide all the bedding, but take a couple of towels, because they do all your washing and laundry, but you know, you're going to be using towels all the time, so they'll be on rotate. I was just wondering, what would be really nice is if you could leave a little tip for the mamas at the end. I don't know, $20 a head, something little, but just as a gesture to say thank you. You'll know what to do, you know, buy them a treat or something, because they really do. You will form a bond with them, and they will just, you know, give more and more to you as the time goes on. Just looking. I think money, yep, that's the last one. Money, ATMs everywhere. Okay, so do not worry about getting the local currency out before you get there. In Kipros Harbour, it's all easy. They take debit cards, credit cards, Monzo, Revolut. It's all very easy to navigate. You won't need much spending money during the day, just buying lunch, a couple of drinks maybe in the evening, but at the weekends, people have been spending money. If you think you're going to do an activity every weekend, I promise you every activity seems to cost $60. So that's just kind of flat fee. If you go and spend a hostel, you've got to, you know, budget $15 a night. So just keep that in your head when you're budgeting. Other than that, you're good to go. We are here to get you organised clearly the whole of next week, but have a fabulous time.